What's up everyone, my name is Ale and welcome to My World of Finance. Today we're going to be talking about the number one reason why people fail on YouTube. And I know it's a little bit of a weird topic, but making a YouTube channel is actually a way that you can make some money. It can certainly be a grind and it can take a very long time until you see any kind of significant growth on YouTube, but it is one of the ways that you can actually make money. And so a lot of people recommend it. Oftentimes I see people get really excited, start a YouTube channel, make a few videos, and then they just disappear. And you're left wondering what happened. And sometimes, they'll stick with it for a few months, maybe even a year or more, but in the long run, they just kind of disappear. And so based off of my experience, I'm kind of a small YouTuber, but I've been doing it for a good while now, and I've seen a lot, and a lot of my subscribers are actually YouTubers themselves, and so I've made friends with a lot of them. Some of them I know personally. So based off of what they've told me, based off of what I've seen and my experience on YouTube, I've come up with the number one reason why I think people fail on YouTube, and that's what we're gonna talk about today.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school, so you can feel cool. Yeah.
Now, the obvious reason why people fail on YouTube is obviously they give up, right? That's pretty much the real reason why people fail on YouTube, is because they give up. But also it's because they let other people influence their decisions. And I think the two kind of go together, and you'll kind of see why as I go through this. First of all, I think that there's a huge misconception about YouTube. A lot of people seem to think that it's this, very easy thing, very easy job, or some people don't even consider it a job, right? It's just like this glamorous activity that people do. And they think that, you just have to get on camera and talk about something that you have a very basic understanding of, and talk about it for about 10 minutes, make a quick little 10-minute video, and boom, you're done. You just record that and you're done, and you got the rest of the day to do whatever you want. And so that's what they consider a YouTuber. They don't really think about YouTubers as being hard workers and doing a bunch of stuff. They just kind of think that it's this very easy kind of glamorous job or activity. But the truth is that it can actually take an enormous amount of time to make these videos. Now let's look at me, for example. I'm a financial YouTuber. So I've always had a pretty good understanding of financial topics and money and how to invest money and stocks and the stock market. So that's what I center my channel around, and those are the topics that I talk about. But I don't just jump in front of the camera and just say whatever comes to my mind. I have to find an interesting topic to attract the viewers, right? You guys don't even know who I am. You're not just gonna watch random videos of me just talking about nonsense. There has to be a reason why you're watching my videos. I need an interesting topic to attract you. And that may sound pretty obvious, but people often overlook this. It takes time to find something interesting to talk about and then research it. You have to know what you're talking about. So you have to really research that topic and make sure that you don't sound like an idiot when you get in front of the camera. On top of that, you also have to be comfortable being in front of the camera, so you have to act and perform, and it takes time to record everything. You have to know how to handle all the equipment and be able to record everything. Then you have to go back and edit everything. People don't just want to stare at your face the whole time, right? That can be kind of boring, so you want to keep the audience entertained by throwing things up on the screen. And so it can take a lot of time to get all of those things done correctly. But out in public, when you tell your friends and your family that you want to be a YouTuber, they don't think about all those things. They don't think about the fact that you might be a writer, director, actor, editor, producer, right? They don't think about all that. They just think that you're just kind of this loser doing this kind of loser little 10-minute a day job, right? And again, a lot of times they don't even consider it a job. And so your friends and family are usually pretty negative about it. I mean, from my experience, from what people have told me and from what I've experienced, a lot of times they can be pretty negative about you doing YouTube. They'll tell you to get a quote unquote real job and to be doing something more meaningful with your life. And they'll tell you that you'll never get big enough to make decent money, and it's just kind of a waste of time. So a lot of times people have to do YouTube as a side job, okay? They can't really commit their full time to it. I know I haven't been able to. I had to have a full time outside of YouTube because it's just not really accepted. And on top of that, it's true, you don't really get paid much on YouTube until you get bigger, and it can take a very long time until you get bigger. And if you guys don't believe me about all of this negativity and stuff, try going on a date, and when that date asks you what you do for a living, tell them that you're a YouTuber and see how they react. I mean, unless you have like at least 10,000 subscribers, they might never date you again. And not because they're a gold digger, but both girls and guys both want to be dating someone who is successful, who is doing something meaningful with their lives. And so there's kind of this social stigma about YouTube where they don't really consider it a quote unquote real job. And if you think that any of that is harsh, that's just out in the real world here, out in public, with your friends and family and things like that, people you can see. But then you got to actually publish your videos. And once you publish your videos, they're on the internet. Everybody can see them, and they can not only see them, they can criticize them, and they can criticize you and insult you And trust me, people don't hold back on the internet. So, you know, when you're hiding behind a computer screen, all of a sudden people just turn into, you know, strong keyboard warriors, and they'll just attack you, and there's really no repercussions. So they don't really hold back. I've actually received a lot of insults and criticism, you know, in my history with YouTube. Maybe not as much as other people. I've heard much worse stories, to be honest, but and hopefully the reason why I haven't received it too bad yet is because hopefully people can see that I'm genuinely a nice guy and that I put a lot of effort into my videos, hopefully. But either way, I have received some pretty negative comments, and I'd be lying to you if I said that it doesn't get to me. I think anybody who has a job where they're constantly being evaluated, constantly being insulted and criticized every single day, you'd be lying if you said it doesn't get to you. So it has gotten to me, and I'm sure the bigger I get, the worse it'll get. And so that brings me to my conclusion and my overall opinion on this. And there's really two things that I'm left thinking about. And one is that I think a lot of people are just not financially capable of having a YouTube channel. When you think about how much time you have to dedicate to YouTube, I mean, if you want to see significant growth, you probably have to be uploading at least one video a day, and that can be very hard to do. You know, I went months without making any money on YouTube, and even now the revenue that I generate on YouTube, I consider it meaningless. I mean, I don't even think about it. And so I have a full-time job outside of YouTube, and I try to do YouTube at the same time, and that's really hard. I mean, I'm left with like no free time at all. So and so that kind of leads me to the second point, which is that I think a lot of people just aren't strong enough to do YouTube, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, you have to give up all your free time. Nobody wants to do that. You have to deal with constant criticism. Your friends and family will tell you that YouTube is a waste of time, that you'll never get big enough, or that it's kind of this loser thing to do. But if you're a beginning YouTuber, you know, I'll try to inspire you in any way I can, but just remind yourself that you are a writer, an actor, a director, an editor, a producer. You're all these different things. So don't let people, you know, in your life tell you that it's kind of this loser thing to do. Don't let them tell you that. And if you receive a lot of negative comments on your videos, just ignore them and keep pushing forward. Don't sit there trying to think about how to respond and, you know, why are they saying this and why are they being so mean and things like that. You know, online people will say what they say. As long as you know that you're making good quality videos, just keep doing what you're doing and keep pushing forward. Now you might ask me, you know, why do I do YouTube, right? I just mentioned all these negative things. I'm probably making it sound horrible, but you know, the reality is that I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe one day my YouTube channel will grow big enough to the point where I can do YouTube full time and it can be my main source of income. And honestly, it's no secret that, you know, YouTube can actually be sort of a dream job. You can work your own hours, you can be your own boss, and there is potential to make a lot of money on YouTube. And so that's the reason why I try to be strong and I try to push through all the negativity and all these barriers, and I try to keep going. So if you're a beginning YouTuber, you know, just, you know, stick with it, keep going, try to be strong, know that you're not alone. A lot of people have to go through this, and hopefully I didn't make it sound worse for you. Hopefully I was able to maybe inspire you to maybe keep going and to just be strong and to ignore all the negativity. But anyway, I know this was kind of a weird video today. I just it's something that's been on my mind and I kind of wanted to talk about. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit the like button if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care, guys.